Hey there viewers, my name's Torinski and welcome back to another DCSS Sunday. Today we're of course jumping right back into the usual routine, trying to get a win with every deity in the game. And where we last left off, we'd had a pretty fantastic run with good old Nadia, our lovely Null Wanderer, worshipping under Makhleb, which we got from a Faded Altar. Things were going relatively smoothly, except our Shoals is an absolute nightmare zone, but you know, barring that, pretty nice so far. So hopefully we can continue to see the same progress today. Maybe, just maybe, not die within the first hour of the stream here. But who knows what the dungeon has in store. So without further ado, let's just get ready. Hop right into it, shall we? Hello, Nadia. Now we're sitting on top of Orc. Is this because we're planning on going to Elf? Because I don't think we're quite ready for it here. Maybe I just finished Orc. It's been a crazy week here, so I don't fully remember where we left off. Which then begs the question, what are we going to start off with here today? We did, if I recall correctly, finally get some poison resistance under our belt, so Spider is actually a valid option for us now. Of course, possible to do without poison resistance, but I'd rather not unless absolutely necessary. Again, as mentioned in the intro, Shoals not looking too hot right now, but Glottal, I'm pretty sure chilling right by the entrance to Shoals, and then Ilsui was giving us some trouble, especially since we have cold vulnerability under current armor. So, with that in mind, let's maybe check out Spider, see how things are looking, how things are feeling. I was trying to remember, are there any sources of cold damage in Spider? Does the Pharaoh Spider make simulacrums? I think they might. So that's the one potential nasty spot for us. We of course do, looking at our inventory, have this scale mail of cold resistance. We lose quite a bit of AC for a bit of cold. Probably not completely necessary. Worst comes to worst, we can just run away from a Pharaoh Ant, if I'm even remembering that correctly. Regardless, I think we're in a half decent spot to at least try our luck. See how things are looking, see how things are feeling. So let's just hop into it. Immediately run into a Radroach. Fantastic. I don't love the Irradiate on you, my friend. In general, this is a bit of a rough position to find ourselves in. If I could just chill here until the Radroach came up and everyone stayed asleep, I'd be happy, but unfortunately, don't think that is an exceptionally valid answer. We'll instead just poison the ever-living crap out of a couple of our friends here. And what can I do with you, my friend? You don't have the best willpower. So, let's see if we get the paralyze off there with our wand, and we do indeed manage to do so, so that is absolutely fantastic. Oh, and Tarantellas can confuse me. Right, perfect. Even when they are enraged, that makes sense. You, my friend, 19 damage, plus you're fast from being enraged. I don't have very many, teleport scrolls, so I'd prefer not to resort to those. Pretty dang good odds to paralyze you though, my friend, so that is fantastic. There we go, we've managed to get our foothold here at the very least. Hopefully we can continue to see some success. Our Poison Trident, of course, will be doing some wonderful work while we're in the thick of it here. We were just talking about you a bit ago, my friend. Ideally, if we can just get back to the entrance. Not great odds. Gonna run out of paralysis stacks, but we can at least drop some of those early on here. Murder you while you have no friends around. That gets the job done, at least for the time being. We, of course, as hinted at there, did use the last of our paralysis there, so that's very interesting, and everything is enraged. Enraged Wolf Spider is terrifying, but fortunately we managed to take them out before they become too much of a problem. This buddy could be a bit on the rough end as well. Let's maybe constrict you and try to step away. If we can just stack up a bit more poison without taking too much damage. Oof. Maybe I resort to some acidic action there. And there we go. Managed to take out all of our new buddy, all pals here. Fantastic. Only slightly terrifying, which is much better than I expected. Spider has been a bit of a rough shot for us as of late. Even losing a couple of very promising characters. And here we are again. Okay, so this time, just for my own sake, let's get up to at least a nice little corridor here. And if I can poke by, maybe that helps. Kill off some of the potential undead spiders that would be raised after the fact. If I could just poison this buddy. There we go. So far, not taking too much damage. I do need to kill that redback before the rest come through. Fantastic. And here we are. All the fun new crowd of friends coming our way. Maybe if I can just get some of you grabbed up here. I guess we could read one of our 2 fears. I'd like to save them if at all possible. We don't have anything like butterfly scrolls, of course, this game. Which is actually, I feel like I need to refresh myself as to what all the changes in the most recent patch were. I believe one of them changed the interaction between, is it fog and butterflies? In 0.29, fog and butterflies were exclusive. In every run, you either got one or the other, and I think they can both show up now. I think they are no longer paired that way. I could be wrong, though, so definitely let me know if you have an idea. But speaking of, could do a summoning. Is it necessary? Much like our fear scrolls, we only have 2 of them, unfortunately, so I'd prefer not to use them unless absolutely necessary. Let's go with fear. Get those buddies running away. Just long enough for that simulacrum status to leave them. It's such a shame because other than that, we don't really have a problem dealing with them. It's a bit of a rough go at things. Definitely need to tuck ourselves away here. Try to take care of all of our new friends. That snail is going to be causing some rough issues for us, unfortunately. The snail could come up next. Not quite next, but we got there eventually. Oh, and Azrael, we should actually be just fine against with our lovely inventory of fire resistance here. One of the few enemies that were very much built to fight against here. Finally some unique luck going our way. Instead of Makhleb and Little Sui, get someone a bit more our speed. Wow, even going back up to full health over the course of this fight. I guess with Makhleb healing mixed with our decent regeneration, we're in a pretty good spot in that regard. But please no more damnation, my friend. That unfortunately is not fire themed, so it does not quite fit under the purview of what I was bragging about moments ago. However, getting that teleport scroll is a much needed reprieve here. Finally, don't just have the one that I was going to be holding on to for dear life. Very much with a too good to use syndrome, which is kind of weird for one of the most common scrolls in the game, but has gotten us out of quite a few nasty situations so far. And I'm sure there will be more as we continue here. Let's not get all webbed up. Oof, unfortunately this was not the freedom that I was originally expecting. Am I already gonna dive into that teleport scroll? I think instead, let's call the Major Servant. Oh, that snail is gonna be a problem. Let's call 2 Major Servants. And hopefully between those, Specifically, this Executioner should be doing a good amount of work for us here. Very powerful team to have on our side at this stage in the game. Lovely work, my friend. And by our powers combined, managed to take out the entire crew of spiders. Lovely stuff. An Executioner sticks around for quite a while as well. Unfortunately, we can't spam that ability too much. The PD cost is a bit too high to do so. So we sneakily step right past that Orb of Destruction. Scary stuff. But yes, we cannot spam the ability, but whenever we get the opportunity to use it, it's definitely going to help us out. I should also remember that we were leaning a little bit into the throwing side of things while we have the opportunity. I should also switch over to resist corrosion. Probably don't need all 3 pips of fire resistance. So just to play it a bit safer here for any future Entropy Weavers, especially if it wasn't just them and we had to fight multiple enemies at once, just kind of makes some sense here. And lovely. Hopefully that is some of the roughest parts of the run that we see over the course of our journey. Of course, no promises though. Usually things are a bit tricky throughout the entirety of the run here. We'll see how it goes. Fantastic. Ooh, another blinking scroll. Don't mind if I do. Can let our wolf spider friend come to us. And Pharaoh spider and brute both in one place. It's not exactly ideal. Oops, let's head right back there. Hopefully the two of them have managed to split up a little bit here. Okay, we'll take just the wolf spider, please and thank you. And then just broodmother, maybe? Notice me? Yes. Perfect. Still need to get enough poison coming down on you, my friend, that the summons don't overwhelm us. So, unfortunately, our first tab attack going after the wrong target there. But we do eventually take out the entire group. And if I can just get you alone, beautiful. Not looking like the end of the world yet. Unfortunately, the first rad roach we beat was using that paralysis, which we no longer have access to, so that's just wonderful. Where are you, my friend? Maybe if I soften you up with some boomerang tosses. It's definitely a good start. Even just getting enough poison stacks so we can walk away. I don't know exactly how quickly those Sons of Guns move, but my guess was that they wouldn't be super likely to move and irradiate us both on the same turn, and it did seem to work out for us there, so that is just fantastic. And we'll see what the rest of Spider 2 has in store for us here. Hopefully everything is relatively manageable. As long as it keeps up with this level of pressure, I'm sure we'll be absolutely fine. And we'll even just stand here with the orb spider. If worse came to worse and we were scared about the potential destruction coming our way, we at least had the option to dip out very quickly up through the stairs. So that is not too bad whatsoever. Ooh, we even have See Invisible. But we don't have resistance to electricity. What do I do with a you, my friend? Can at least get a constriction going first and foremost. Then maybe can I blow your mind? Not quite. Unfortunately, our ghostly friend is a bit too much trouble in that regard. Swap out with our Balrog. Oh, that did not last long, and then we immediately bring out a Cacodemon that is not happy with us. Perfect. Okay, so you're at least susceptible to poison, so we have that going for us. We're not in a great spot at the moment. Energy bolts are going to hurt a lot. If I could get out of here, that is probably for the best. Let's slow down here just a smidge and think this through, shall we? Well, well, well. I mean, we've explored a decent chunk of the level. I don't know how much this is going to curve around and bring a huge swath of land available to us, especially since we know that all of our upstairs are in this pre-explored area. So it's not exactly ideal. I think I'll re-teleport for now. 2D18. You gonna pop off your teleport, or not feeling it today? We'll go with the heal wounds, play it a little bit on the safe side here. Maybe plop ourselves down in this lovely little corner. How the heck did you find me, my friend? Please don't mutate me too much. Get berserkitis. That's not ideal. We're so far from our stairs. Please, please, sir. And feel a bit more calm. Oh, thank you. Perfect. So, went through the whole gamut there, but come out of it net zero. So that is fantastic. Okay, and there we go. As soon as we can, we need to swap over to this buddy because we do need to take them out before we get too much of that heavy electrical damage coming our way. There we go. Don't need to resort to any emergency measures like blind quaffing and just hoping against hope that we end up with some resistance. So that is fantastic. And otherwise, we'll just continue to tab our way through the plethora of demonic crawlers, since that seems to be what the game is largely intent on throwing at us. Okie dokie. Ooh, more blink, more teleport. Thank you very much. Thank you kindly, even. And perfect. Let's see how Spider 3 is gonna treat us here today, shall we? Well, that's a lot of potential confusion coming my way, so let's at least bring them down to a lovely little kill corridor here, and that's a bit easier for us to deal with, at least. And once again, we end up with our favorite electrical friend. Oh, they're so close to dead. Perfect. Do manage to just barely squeeze in the kill there. Very, very thankful to manage that. And even the Moth of Wrath deciding not to call any friends and instead just come right at us is wonderful. Joragumo, I'm guessing, is not very upset by poison. Most of these undead spiders are not. That is indeed the case here. Ooh, and they spit webs. What the heck is even that? Well, well, well. Let's try out some major destruction and see what we get. It is a piercing bolt, so that's a good start to the encounter. Get some early damage in. And hopefully take care of this son of a gun. Let's go with the destruction again. It's a little bit risky, just because it costs a slight bit of health there to cast, but it does give us some more good damage. So L as well. That ends well. Fantastic. With the rest of these buddies, we can pretty freely tab our way through, except when we get caught in a net, of course. It's more of an inconvenience than anything else, seeing as how we weren't really in danger by any stretch of the imagination. But it is what it is. And, not super happy with this setup, especially as the confusion comes down, so we're just going to wander ourselves out into the danger zone. I'm too confused to attack without stumbling around. Of course I am. We'll go with a bit of curing, just to make sure that we get through this in one piece without too much to worry about, and not too shabby. That is the majority of the floor, and so far, I mean, I don't want to jinx or anything, but so far, it's looking a heck of a lot better than we've seen previously on this adventure of ours, so that is wonderful.